Good morning everybody and welcome to the session on Oracle Database 12c SQL Developer version 4.0. This tutorial introduces Oracle SQL Developer 4.0 and shows you how to manage your database objects. Introduction. SQL Developer is a GUI based tool for Oracle Database 12c that improves developer productivity to build database applications. SQL Developer allows you to look at schema and browse database objects, execute SQL statements, run reports, and build and debug PL/SQL procedures. It is a Java-based tool and runs on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS X operating systems. The multiple platform approach allows customer to install SQL Developer on the database server and access it through VPN remotely from desktops, thereby reducing client-server network traffic. Prerequisites. Before starting this tutorial, you need to install Oracle Database 12c with sample schema. Refer to the tutorial on Oracle Database 12c installation for this purpose. After HR schema is successfully installed, you need to download SQL Server files from the Oracle sites given in the links above and load them on your desktop folder. After that, you need to unlock the HR user, log in to SQL Developer as a sys user and execute the following command. Alter user HR identified by HR account unlock. Creating a database connection. The first step is to manage database objects using Oracle SQL Developer 4.0 is to create a database connection. Perform the following steps. If you have installed SQL Developer icon on your desktop, click the icon to start your SQL Developer and move to step 4. If you do not have the icon located on your desktop, perform the following steps to create a shortcut to launch SQL Developer 4 directly from your desktop. In Windows, open the directory where the SQL Developer 4 is located. Right-click the SQL Developer.exe file and select Send to Desktop in order to create a shortcut. You will see a SQL Developer 4 icon on your desktop. Double-click the icon to open the SQL Developer 4.0. As Oracle SQL Developer opens up. You will see two parts to the screen. One part, it will show you the home page on Oracle SQL Developer on a lot of material on documentation, etc. You can deselect the show on startup tag in order to delete the start page. In the connections navigator on the left side on the screen, right click the connections and select new connection. Using SQL Developer, you can connect to multiple databases or schemas at the same time. Each database will open a separate window. This is a useful tool to manage for DBAs to manage multiple databases concurrently across the enterprise. The new Select Database Connection dialog opens up and enter the connection details as given below and click the test icon. Connection name is HR Oracle, username HR, your password, connection color. Select the red color. The color is set as a border for any SQL worksheet and other windows associated with the connection. Setting a color connection is useful when working with multiple connections if you are using multiple databases concurrently. Host name is the local host. Instead of SID, you enter the service name as PDB1. The connection parameters are the same that were created while installing the Oracle Database 12c. PDB1 specifies the PDB that was created that contains the HR schema. Check the status of the connection on the left bottom side above the help button. It should read success. Click connect and then save. You can see the success on the left hand side of the screen that you are successfully connected. The connection was saved and you see the newly created connection in the connection list navigator. HR Oracle. Expand HR Oracle. When a connection is opened, the SQL worksheet is automatically opened. The SQL worksheet allows you to execute SQL commands, procedures against the connection that you have opened up. You can see the various schema or database objects within the HR Oracle. Expand tables. If you have done the tutorial on Oracle Database 12c Quick Start, the HR schema and tables will be familiar. Select the employees table to view the table definition, then click the data tab. You can see the right side of the screen, which is shown in red color border, expands the employees columns, shows you the various column names as well as the data type and the precision as well as the size. When you click the data tab, it will show the actual data on the right part of the screen. You can sort the employees table data by double clicking the arrow icon next to the column you want to sort on. Here the table is sorted on employee ID. To filter the table data, click the filter icon next to the column you want to set the filter on. Here the filter is set on the salary column and sorting is in descending order. On the salary column, you can see the filter is set to greater than 15,000. The lower screen shows the condensed number of records only with the filter applied and in decreasing order, the 3 records which are shown. To remove the filter, click the remove button. Step 15, click the department table in the connection navigator. The department columns are displayed on the right side along with the data. There are a number of constraints for the departments table. In order to see the constraints on the table, click the Constraints tab. The department table shows 4 constraints in the second half of the screen. Each constraint has a unique name. Department ID PK, department location FK, department manager FK, and department name NN. The second column shows the type of constraint. The first one is a primary key, the next 2 are foreign keys, and the last one is a value check on the department name column that it should be not null. Click the edit button, the icon shown below. The edit dialog has a number of fields. Select constraints beneath the search field. There is 1 primary key, 2 foreign keys, and 1 value or not null constraint, which is shown in the constraints window. Review the foreign keys constraint. Note that the departments table has 2 foreign keys, one named department location foreign key and the other named department manager foreign key. When you select one of the names in the foreign keys field, the details of that foreign key will appear in the bottom half. It shows the reference table as locations and the mapping to location ID primary key. Click OK to leave the edit table dialog. The next section is to add a new table using the create table dialog box. In this section, you will create a new table called dependents. You will create columns in the dependents table. The table will have column ID, first name, last name, birth date and relation attributes. Later, you will create a foreign key on the dependents table to associate the column values with the employees. Perform the following steps. Right-click Tables in the Connections navigator and select New Table. Enter dependents for the table name and select the Advanced checkbox. Advanced checkbox specifies advanced features to be used in the DDL, Data Definition Language scripts. Basically, for any database schema, 2 types of scripts are generally used. One is the DDL and the other is DML, Data Manipulation Language scripts. DDL is used to create schema objects in the form of tables, indexes, and views, while DML is used for data manipulation or add, modify, delete records in the schema object. Click OK on the table name. For the first column in your new table, enter the ID for the name, select number for data type and enter 6 for the precision length of the number. Select cannot be null, then click add column shown by the plus icon. By checking cannot be null, you are adding a constraint on the table that specifies the column must hold data values. The lower half of the screen shows the values that have been entered. For the next column, enter the first name for the name, leave the type as varchar2 and enter 20 for the size to specify the length of the character variable. Then click add column, the plus icon again. The lower half screen shows the values that have been entered and that of the attributes. For the next column, enter last name for the name, leave the type as varchar2 and enter 25 for the size. Select the cannot be null checkbox and add column plus icon to add the new column. For the next column, enter birth date for the name and select date for the type and click add column plus icon. For the last column, enter relation for the name, leave the type as varchar2 and enter 25 for the size. Click OK to create the table. A new table appears in the list of tables, dependence table, which is shown. Changing a table definition. Oracle SQL Developer makes it very easy to make changes to database objects. In this section, you will add a column called relative ID to the dependence table you just created. Perform the following steps. In the Connections Navigator, select the dependence table. Right click and select column, then add. Enter relative ID as the column name. Select number for the data type. You can do that from the drop down list. Set the precision to 6 and scale to 0 and click apply. If you want to see the SQL that is generated automatically, click the SQL tab on the top of the screen, second tab. The confirmation verifies that a column has been added. Click OK to continue. Expand the dependence table in the Connection Navigator to review the updates. You can see that the relative ID column has been added to the table definition.